Basically, the Hall of Heroes, as you may be able to guess, is where you recruit heroes. One thing they've changed that some people may love and some people may hate is you can recruit you have the option to recruit every hero in the game, as you can see from every faction. So, and like I said, one thing that this is kind of like is, if you may remember in Heroes of Might Magic 4, you basically had the option to recruit whatever hero you wanted, one per week. I don't think there's a recruitment limit here, I may be wrong. I never really recruited that many heroes much. But these are what you call secondary heroes. And when you learn to, or when you understand the way the game works, which is I'm going to explain it to you now, with secondary heroes, you can actually get some very powerful stuff. You know, as we all remember in the earlier games, one of the problems was, you wanted multiple heroes that provided its advantages, but it just wasn't very, how should I say, you couldn't really get enough experience for each of them and balance it out. Well, here, you have your main hero, and whatever level your main hero is on, if you have the powerful secondary heroes option selected, your main hero then also has, starts at the same, or no, when you recruit a secondary hero, and if you have powerful secondary heroes enabled, your secondary hero starts at the exact same level that your main hero is, so you can assign a skill points then. If you don't have powerful secondary heroes level, all secondary heroes recruited start 5 levels lower than the main. And like I say, this has some good tactical options that you could really play around with and be deadly with. For example, you spend your first time annihilating, the monsters around where you started, get up to levels, and then when you're like level 6 or 7 or something, you can recreate a new unit or a new hero, and they'll have a couple ability points to assign. This can be incredibly helpful because you can get one that you can put in a town and give them immediately specific skills for town defense and some of the realm skills that can give you more resources per day. They increase the number of units that are recruited in the town. Here's one that allows the hero, if he's stationed in the town at the beginning of the week, to increase their unit production all by 1. Now for base creatures that doesn't help much, but you consider that that counts for elite creatures like the dragons, the angels, that kind of thing. It's nice. There's another one that reduces the cost of structures by 20%. So like I say, but that's not available to level 5. And then there's another one that's available at level 15 that lets you build 2 structures a day. So if you have a hero with these abilities that you just created for the secondary hero and just leave them at town, it can give you really nice advantages. You can also give them other battlefield things like tactics so that you can rearrange your armies. And that's kind of important, I want to say right now. You need the tactics skill if you want to defend with any confidence, because one of the things they've done, as you may remember from Heroes of Might Magic 4, when you were defending a castle, it had 3 towers, but you had to put the units on the towers, and we all knew that, you could pre-arrange your armies before battle, depending on how they are in that little dialogue box at the bottom right of the screen, so whatever units you have in the top row, the 3 slots there was what units were going to be on the tower. Here, when you recruit a citadel, you get a tower, but you have to put a unit in it. And if you don't have the tactics skill, then you have to waste the ranged unit you want to put in it. You have to waste movement points, or an entire round, just to move it there without getting a shot. But if you have tactics, you can put it there from the start, so they can shoot immediately. It does more damage when it's in a tower, and it's a little bit protected from damage. Also in those lines in combat, they've introduced a coverage system. So if you're behind like large objects, huge stones, relics, and things like that in the battlefield and castle walls, you take less damage from ranged combat. Something to keep in mind in battle. Another thing that's great about secondary heroes, there's some, also in the realm abilities, you have the ability to plunder mines and sabotage mines. One thing I like to do is, when you're going in, but if your enemy's fortress is too well defended, to be able to take it over, I like to have the option of sabotaging their mines. So I have a raider, but I'm not going to waste my main hero skill points on these skills, so I'll have a Raider's hero with maybe some scouting abilities, to go along with me to have a bigger line of sight, get a more detailed information about what I'm dealing with, and then also steal resources from the other players. This Raider hero wouldn't have a big army at all, but my main hero would be with him to cover him, so that's some strategies you can employ there.